Hi everyone. So I'll start with Mockingbird chapter 9 and maybe we'll do chapter 10 as well. Chapter 9, no running, walking. When I go to Mrs. Brooke time, she says to go get my coat because we're switching our schedule. Today, she nods. And for the rest of the year, she shuts her door and her shoes start squeaking across the floor toward the coat hooks outside my classroom. Why? I don't like switching things. It's always recess first, yuck, then Mrs. Brooke time. Her shoes keep squeaking down the hall, so I have to run to catch up with her because there's no running in the halls. What's the schedule going to be now? We're going to have our time together while we walk around the playground during your regular recess. Then you can stay outside and have recess with the kindergarten through second graders. I look at the person. 2 recesses? I don't even like 1 recess. But the little kids are very sweet, and I'll be with you for recess while with the older kids, because sometimes they can be... She presses her lips together. I think it's a mad face. A little rough. I think about Josh, and I wonder why a grown-up wants to go to recess at all. Okay, but don't even try getting on the monkey bars. It's too dangerous. Mrs. Brooke smiles. I promise I'll avoid the monkey bars. I take my jacket from the hook and put it on as Mrs. Brooke pushes the bar on the door to the playground, and it clanks open. The brightness outside hurts my eyes, and the wind makes them water, and the screaming on the playground stabs my ears. I suck my sleeve and walk fast to try to get away from it, even though it follows me everywhere. Caitlin, what are you doing so far ahead of me? I'm walking, and you're slow. Usually when 2 people go for a walk together, Mrs. Brooke says, they actually walk together. Oh, I say, and keep walking. Caitlin, walk back with me, please. So I walk backward to her and stop. Now what? Let's walk next to each other. That's what going for a walk together means. She puts her right foot out first, then her left. I do the exact same thing. You don't need to stare at my feet, she says, and you don't need to match my exact stride or use your left foot when I use mine. Then how is that walking together? I ask. We're going to keep pace with each other because we're talking to each other while we walk. Sometimes we'll make eye contact too. That lets the other person know that we're listening and interested. What if we're not interested? She looks at the person, and she opens her eyes wide and speaks slowly. We're going to act like we're interested. Okay? We'll use this time to observe people and maybe talk to them. We really need to work hard on making friends. Why? I ask. Don't you have any? Recess isn't the best place to make friends. I want to work on friendships for you. You'll be going to the middle school soon, and I want you to have some friends there. Middle school is 6th grade, I remind her. That's next year. Actually, you only have a few months left in elementary school. 6th grade starts in August. She's right. Why does everyone say next year? It's not next year. It's this year. I suck on my sleeve some more, even though I know Mrs. Brooke doesn't like me. There'll be more group projects in middle school, so you'll have to learn to deal with that. Having friends will help. Can't I deal with it by being my own group? Mrs. Brooke shakes her head. This means no. I keep sucking my sleeve. Caitlin, why don't you try clasping your hands together or putting your hands in your pockets and squeezing them into fists, or one of the other things we've talked about instead of sucking your sleeve? I stop sucking my sleeve, but I'll go back to it later when she forgets because I'm persistent. She nods at the kids on the playground and tells me what they're doing and how they're feeling, but I don't know how she can tell. I don't even know which kids she's talking about. They all move around too fast. When she mentions the boy in the purple hooded sweatshirt, I try to keep up with him, and I wish I had a purple sweatshirt like that because purple is my favorite color, and I think I might like a hood, and it's fun to watch the flying purple when he runs really fast. Caitlin! What? You're far ahead of me again. We're supposed to be keeping pace with each other so we can talk. Oh, I thought we were done talking. Look in my eyes while we walk and talk. That will help you keep pace. I keep switching my eyes away to give them a break, but she keeps catching me. Finally, she says, "There, that's much better. Except that my eyes hurt and my neck is stiff. How is that better?" When the bell rings, Mrs. Brooke tells me I have 20 minutes of recess with the little kids, and then I have to go back to my classroom like they do. If you have any trouble, go see one of the teachers. Inside? No, there are always at least 3 teachers on recess duty out here. Really? I never see any teachers outside at big kid recess. We always have several outside, but they're kept quite busy because there are a lot of kids on the playground at the same time. I know, too many. It's way too loud. All right, so then we'll go to chapter 10, Michael and Manners. This is Sundance, by the way. She needs attention because she's home alone all day. Michael and Manners. It's loud at little kid recess too, but I like these kids much better. They don't hurt as much when they run into you. They're my size or smaller. I look around and smile. I see a little boy in a red baseball cap that reminds me of Devon's red Potomac Nationals baseball cap. And I remember seeing that boy at the memorial service for Devon because I remember that cap. He was sitting hunched over on a pew, just the way he's sitting hunched over on a bench right now. I wonder why he's sitting like that. There's no teacher next to him, so I don't think he's in trouble. He's rubbing his eyes, so he's either sleepy or sad. I think those are the only 2 things it could be. I walk closer to see if I can figure out which it is. He looks up when I'm near and I can see his reddish, wet face. Are you sad? He nods. Why? He doesn't say anything. I look around for Josh, but then remember that he's not out at this recess. Is someone else being mean to you? He shakes his head. I put my hands in my pants pocket and rediscover my gummy worms. I pull one out and dangle it in front of him. Want this? Her name is Lori. He looks at it for a moment, then takes it, but doesn't put it in his mouth. It's not a real worm, I tell him. It's to eat. He still doesn't eat it, and I'm about to ask him to give it back if he's not going to eat it, but then he says, "Thank you." I don't think I can take it back now. He puts it in his mouth, and part of it hangs out as he chews. Finally, the worm disappears. I miss her, he says. Lori, the worm? He shakes his head. Mommy. Oh. He turns his head to look up at me and moves closer, but doesn't invade my personal space. I try to look in his eyes. When I do, I'm surprised. They are like Bambi eyes. They're simple, like the eyes on the facial expressions chart, and they stay still so I can see what's inside. Don't you miss your brother? He asks. The Bambi eyes do not even blink. What do you mean? He's dead, right? How do you know? Everyone says you're the weirdo whose brother is dead. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say weirdo. That's just what people say. Are you weird? I don't know. He shrugs. Well, you're not weird to me. I think you're nice. Thank you, I say. I'm remembering your manners. I hear someone clap. A teacher voice calls out, Okay, class, 2 minutes, then we need to line up. Thanks for the gummy worm. Very good, I say. You remembered your manners. He nods. Mommy said that's important. It is. You get stickers. His lips go down a little at ends, and his head tilts like he doesn't get it. I don't think that's why. You do get a sticker, though, I tell him. From who? Your dad. He doesn't have any stickers. I have a lot. I can bring you some. Okay, thanks. You said thanks. That's 2 stickers now. You're welcome. See, I'm good at your manners, too. He giggles. They're not my manners. I know, they're your manners. What? His Bambi eyes look smiley, but also a little something else. Maybe confused? Everyone has to learn your manners, I explained. You're silly, he giggles some more. Why are you laughing? Because they're everyone's manners. My manners are when I say please and thank you. Your manners are when you say please and thank you. I look at the person. All this time, I thought I was learning your manners, when really I was learning my manners. But then, everyone's manners are the same. Now you get it. Oh, thank you. You're very helpful. I think it'll be easier to learn your manners, my manners, now that I know they belong to me and I'm not trying to learn somebody else's. The bell rings and the boy stands up and looks at me with his Bambi eyes. A teacher voice calls out and he turns and starts walking toward it, but then he turns around again. What's your name? Caitlin Ann Smith. Oh, can I just call you Caitlin? Only if you don't shout it. I hate when people shout my name. He nods. Okay, my name's Michael. I hold my right hand up and close and open it 3 times. His mouth corners go up and his cheeks get puffy and his Bambi eyes smile. He has cute little dimples and blonde wavy hair that drops below the cap. He holds his left hand up and opens and closes it several times back to me. I wonder if it means I have a friend. Interesting how it took another kid to explain to Caitlin the difference between my manners and your manners. She was just following what the adults had told her and didn't understand that concept. So it took a little kid to make sense for her. So it looks like she has a new friend, which will be interesting to see what happens.